like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, y'all, I'm back with another flashback. This video features Serenity, aka Grace. All right, guys, so let's get into this video.
Welcome to Zen Life. My name is Grace, and today I want to share with you what I learned in 2022 and what I'm also letting go. And I am very thankful for you to be here today, to be in this video with me, and let's get it popping. How you doing? Hi, hey everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the live. Hey everyone, I hope you're having a beautiful new year. Whatever they say, it's still a new energy that we're going into. And today I want to share with you how I utilize the new year. As you know, I've said I don't think that the new year is for us to be starting anything new, right? Because when you think of the new year, you're thinking of that it's time for you to start something new. New year, new you, right? But this is actually not that time to be focusing on starting anything new, initiating anything. And today I wanted to talk to you on how I use this time. I love the New Year's. I've always loved the New Year's. But as I develop in my spiritual journey and the awakening of self, things that I used to know and do are starting to be more clear about what it really means for me and how I choose to apply it in my life. And I realized that my platform that I use for social media and my purpose is to share with you practical and useful ways on how to live a spiritual life, because that's what I'm doing for myself. Because when you think about spirituality, it can kind of be metaphysical and kind of not a grounded perspective. And so I would like to take those metaphysical concepts and apply them to my life into a useful.
Y'all, sometimes I'll be watching Serenity and I'm like, girl, you talk without even taking a breath. Like, take a breath, figure out what you're going to say and, be like conversational. I just feel like she's always talking at her followers.
Practical way, and then the results that I get, the experience that I receive from it, then I want to share that with you. That's what Zen Life is all about for me. This is my purpose, is to be a resource to you on your journey wherever you are. But in that resource, I'm sharing with you who I am, my ideas, my experience, my wisdom. And you don't like it, you don't got to. But this is what it's about, okay? So welcome everybody that is here in live. So y'all, I got notes, because let me tell you something. 2022 was not playing with me, okay? It was not playing with me. It was not playing with your girl, okay? 2022 really had me see myself in the most real way. And not in a way to where I was pleased with it, okay? In a way to where I was like, damn, that's what I'm holding on to. That's the energy that I'm putting out. And 2022 was definitely an involvement of my identity, just so many things in my belief system, things that I used to believe in. And I just saw where it just was not serving me to where I was going, because I found that I attached myself to a lot of things and to people that were no longer moving towards to the place that I was headed to. And I really had to have a hard talk with myself and a hard look in the mirror about who I really am. And
I get it, Stephanie. But what I don't get is all of the different name changes. First, you were Nature Girl Fiery. Then you were Mama Willow. Then you became Serenity. Then you became Faith. And now you're Grace. I'm not really understanding why you don't just go by your given name, Stephanie.
Like, okay, you can continue to put yourself out here in this way and you can continue to stay in this relationship, but who are you really, and what are you really giving the people in your life? Are you fully showing up? Or are you just existing? Okay? Are you really in your relationship, or you're just there holding space? Or do people really know who you are? Do you even know who you are? These were the type of questions that I was faced with myself, and also realizing that I deserve to be loved, and I deserve to be loved the way that I want to be loved. I deserve to be treated the way that I want to be treated. But I realized that was a responsibility within myself that didn't have anything to do with anyone. So the more that I decided that for myself and what I deserve.
All right, y'all. I just needed a break from her rambling because I don't know what it is with these ex-carbonation members, boy. They just go on and on like, damn.
From what I wanted and who I was, I started showing up in a real way. And because of that, it really moved mountains. It moved people out of my life. It just gave me a new clarity and a new sense of being. And I really tapped into what joy really feels like, regardless of what's going on around me. And so that's just the tip of the iceberg. But I don't want to go all the way down the street and then come back up, because that's one thing I learned, is that Sagittarius, we can talk. If you listen long enough, we'll talk long enough. That's why I had to have my notes. Okay. So, one of the things about the new year is that first and foremost, this is what we're going to talk about today. I'm super excited, y'all. As y'all can tell, I'm super excited, and I don't care if this is perfect. I'm coming on here the way that I want to come on here. I'm coming on here as me, and I'm super excited. This is like my favorite time of the year, and I'm just so happy that I'm able to share this with you. So, what first we're going to do is talk about resolutions, and we're going to talk about why this is not the time to do that particularly, and we're also going to talk about the best times to create something new for yourself, and we're also going to look at it through the lens of astrology. And I'm also going to share with you the things that I learned, because that's essentially what this live is about, right? And then what else are we going to talk about? And then also we're going to talk about the year to come and the energy that we are in as a collective and what that means for you. Okay, so if everybody is ready, press 1. Okay, because I don't want to be sitting here just talking to myself, as I will, because I'm good at that. But press 1, let me know that you're ready to receive. Okay, Anoki, Black Beach, she said she ready. Naomi said, okay, good. All right. So, first and foremost, we have to be very mindful and aware of the words that we use, because a lot of times we use words out of context. And resolution is one of those words that I think that just has been misinterpreted, because, you know, when we say, what's your New Year's resolution? What is the one thing you think of first? You think of something that you're going to start doing, right? But resolution means to resolve. So this is a time. So having a resolution isn't actually a bad thing. I realize that it's not, and it's nothing about good or bad, but I'm just saying it's not necessarily too far what I'm talking about as far as what have you learned. Resolution means to resolve, and to resolve is to make clear, find answers, and to split up. So this is a time for you to look at the parts of your life and situations that you need to resolve, that you need to make clear. Okay, this is not about starting anything. If anything, it's about ending things. Okay, and we are in the winter solace. So this is how you get in tune to yourself. And
she talking about we use words in the wrong context, and she just said it's the winter solace. It's called the winter solstice, Grace.
In tune to nature. It's by understanding the seasons. You must be aware of the seasons, because the seasons are your guide to let you know what energy that you are in and the direction that you are headed. The seasons ain't for the trees and the birds and the bees. The seasons are to be your guide. This is how God is speaking to you and leading you. This is how you stay in tune to nature. So it doesn't matter if you're not up in the tropics. Pay attention to the seasons. Pay attention to the time. They are your omens. They are your guides to let you know, okay, this is what I need to focus on. This may not be the season for manifestation. This is not the season to start anything new. And how do we know that? Because right now, wherever you are, and even with me in the tropics, this is a winter solace. So what does that mean? Okay. The winter, I'm sorry, I'll be saying that we're wrong. Solstice. This is the winter solstice. So when we are in a...
Y'all think she heard me when I corrected her about the winter solace? Because she just corrected herself.
winter solstice. What does this mean for nature? And what does this mean for your nature? Okay. This is the least daylight in the longest night. Okay, at this time, this is when we are experiencing the least daylight and the longest night, and we're entering into a new solar cycle. So this is really what we are celebrating. We are celebrating the sun coming into its new cycle. This is really because the sun is coming back, and then eventually in the spring we're receiving more sunlight again, because in the fall we're losing the sunlight, and in winter in winter it's starting to come back, and then in spring it's here. So this is really what we want to honor, is that now we're coming back into the new solar cycle. And then winter solstice is death and endings. This is the end of the harvest. And this is a time, winter solstice is a time for rest and reflection. A time to go inward, not to go out, in. And then lastly, this time is about embracing the darkness. So again, because the days are shorter, the nights are longer. So it is about embracing the darkness in nature, but also embracing the darkness within yourself. This is time to go into the crevices of your soul. Go to your pain. This is the time to go in. What causes you pain? What do you need to resolve? What needs to be split from you? No longer attached. This is that time, okay? And death. And I really want to honor death, because winter is about death. And I just feel that because of the conditioning and program of religion, I think that we look at death as a bad thing. But death is a part of nature. And how do I know this? Because when I was in religion, when I was in church, what is the one thing they teach you, especially if you're a Christian, that death only came to us because of disobedience? And that if you don't do the right thing, or if you don't believe in the right thing, you're going to die and go to hell. And their propaganda was everlasting life. Follow the blood of Jesus, or be in the blood of Jesus, and you'll have everlasting life. Religion was pumping us with living forever. And because we disobey, now we gotta die. But death is a beautiful thing. And then of course they'll be like, well, the reason why you see death in nature is because everything, disobeyed. It's the energy of disobedience, and this is why everything dies. But I just don't choose to believe that. Because at the end of the day, that's not going to help me. What's going to help me and help me see things clearly and get in tune to my reality is by observing what's actually here, and not what someone had said a long time ago in a book. Because you already know in these books, they're misinterpreted. And a lot of times the words that they have in these books translated into English does not mean the same thing. It does not translate the same way. So I don't want to live my life based on that. I want to live my life based on what I see, what is the truth in front of me. That is what is having a practical perspective. Now, not every situation constitutes that, because there is a non-physical world that we do not see that is real. I ain't talking about that. But you want to honor death because death is a part of the life cycle.
Serenity, I want to know more about the physical world that we cannot see. Why don't you get deeper into that?
It is a part of you that needs to die, and you're not allowing it to because of your fear of death, of your perception on what death is. And death is a beautiful thing. Let me tell you something. There are relationships that I had that need to die, and I'm glad that they're dead, okay? Not everything needs to live. Not everything needs to have everlasting life. And even certain things about me. And so I celebrate it and I honor it and I see it in nature, and it is not a bad thing. It is not an evil thing. It is a part of the cycle of life. And in order for you to enjoy life and to fully live life, you also need to enjoy and fully accept death. Because whatever you feel about death is the same way you feel about life. So if you're afraid of death, that lets me know you're afraid to live. So you have to have both of those to have a balanced perspective. So now that we are aware that we are in a winter solstice, I want to apply astrology because I love astrology. But I want to apply astrology to this because December through the beginning of February, the end of December, January and February, this energy is governed by Saturn. Saturn is the planet that is governing all energies right now. And this is what you want to be aware of. This is how you know this is not the time to be starting anything. Because right now, Saturn's energy is over us. It's guiding us. Okay? And so the two signs that we are experiencing right now is Capricorn and Aquarius. And excuse me if I'm not saying it clearly. I'm going to save my life. Right now, the two governing signs, zodiac signs, is Capricorn and Aquarius because they are ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the planet that you should focus on right now, that you should be meditating on right now, that is your guide right now. And you want to understand Saturn. So I'm going to give you some words. Because remember, right now, this is the time to resolve things. This is a time to what? The end of the harvest, to embrace the darkness. This is a time of contemplation. And I'm going to give you some words that Saturn has for you that it wants you to be aware of and apply it to different parts of your life. And where does these words apply to you, okay? Okay, so wisdom, removing and pushing out. Contemplation, the past, maturity, the ending of things, mortality, separation, confinement, to divide and define, to strengthen and forge through tension and resistance, repression, suffering, karma, the consequences of past actions, imprisonment, isolation, the impulse and capacity for discipline and duty, solitude, thoroughness, and precision, patience, and responsibility. So think about that. That's really heavy, right? So this is why I think that as a collective, you want to start things. You're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. I want to keep going. I don't want to deal with that right now. I want to start something. I want to start exercising. I want to start eating right. But no, this is a time to sit and think about your choices as to why you haven't been eating right. As to why you hadn't been exercising. As to why you haven't been into that relationship that ain't serving neither one of you. This is a time for you to sit in that and contemplate on that. Take responsibility in that. And you know, most of you don't like to hold yourself accountable for anything. You won't put the finger at somebody else. This is a time for you to take a hard look in the mirror at yourself. Yes, Naomi, reflection. This is a time to reflect.
Y'all, you know what really irritates me the most about these ex-members is that they're still coming online with this persona of I know this and I know that and I know everything, I know it all, and trying to teach people something. If they would come forth with more of a humble approach, I think they would be better received, don't you?
This is that time to reflect. Not a time to do anything. If you're gonna do anything, you do this. You reflect, and you look back at life. You look at what needs to be let go in your life. You look at the parts of your life that needs to die. You need to look at that. You need to ponder on that. But you also need to also observe your wisdom. What did you learn? And once you do this between December through February, then what comes after that? Spring solstice. Yes, and I'm not going to touch in too much on the spring solstice, but I do want to have you aware, if any of you don't know what the spring solstice. So after you do all this heavy Saturn energy, but remember, Saturn is not here to hurt you. Saturn is your greatest teacher. Saturn will give you wisdom. But Saturn knows in order for you to be great, you got to go through something. You got to feel that pain. Okay? And pain and pressure is one of your greatest teachers. And that is what Saturn is here to give you if you allow it. So right now you are clearing the field. This isn't really, well, eventually you're going to be planting seeds, but this is the time to clear the field. Clear it out, because it's winter. The sun ain't here yet. The sun's coming, but the sun ain't here yet. And see, and without this, the sun gives us energy. The sun gives us life. So right now, remember, we are in our shortest days, longest nights. So we're not getting that energy because it's right now. That's because the sun's like, I don't want you to have that energy. I want you to sit your ass down, and I want you to sit here and think about your choices and think about this. And so now you're going to know how to move forward. You're going to know what seeds to plant. So when I come and put that energy in there, it's going to grow. So that's why the sun ain't here. I mean, the sun is outside, but you know what I'm saying. The sun's not here because the sun doesn't want whatever is going on with you right now to grow. So then when you come into the spring solstice, what is the spring solstice? It is new beginnings, new phase, new start, initiation, more sun, which powers things and gives more energy. So now you can say it's the new me, new spring, new me. So April, so I will say that February, ending of February, March, April is the spring. That is the spring energy. That's when you start doing more things, and that's when you want to go to the gym. That's when you want to change your diet. That's when you want to exercise. That's when you want to start doing everything. That's when the manifestations is there because you planted the seeds and now they're growing. Manifestation is not a lot of stuff you hear online is not manifestation. It is the effort and work that you're putting into your actions and energy, and the result of that is the manifestation. Okay? With the effort and work you put in there first. That's how you get abundance, is with the effort of the energy. So, how do I know this? Because let's go into astrology. So the 3 planets, okay, you got 3 planets now governing the spring solstice is Jupiter, Mars, and Venus. And in the signs that express these planets is Pisces, Aries, and Taurus. This is that energy. So Jupiter, when you come into the spring, Jupiter is what?
Y'all, I really don't have much to say. I just needed a mental health break from Serenity. Her rambling is getting to me.
About abundance. It's abundance, and it's God, creation. That's what Jupiter is about. And then Mars is about action, energy, passion. And then Venus is about love, pleasure, joy, material. So that is for spring solstice. Okay. And then Pisces is about believe, imagination, creation, intuition. Aries is about energize, initiate, self-focus. Taurus is about material, creation, pleasure. That's the energy that we're going to be sitting in the spring. And then that's how you're going to know what to manifest and what to meditate on and what to affirm and the actions to take, because of the energy that is going to be present that will harness whatever it is that you want to harness. But you have to be in the mindset. You have to be in tune to nature to know that. So this is why I'm kind of hitting home, is that right now you want to be in tune to nature to get the codes, to get the messages. And the message is what? It is for you to let go. It is for you to embrace the darkness. It is for you.
Do y'all notice that across the board with all of these ex-members, they say and talk about the same exact thing, embracing your darkness and letting go, and astrology, Jupiter, square, Pluto, Mars, all this shit. That's because they're still working on getting out of that groupthink, that cult mindset. Damn, Nature Boy really did a job on these people.
To contemplate, sit back and look at the past and learn from it. What is your wisdom? Where did you didn't learn and you're going to do something different when the time comes? This is that energy and time. It's not a time to do nothing. Don't do nothing. It's just a lot of planning. Because, Capricorn is the planner. Think about it. Capricorn and Aquarius. They are the planners. Right now it's about thought. And I tell you about a Capricorn it's not a hasty energy. It's not, it'll sit there and plan and get across its T's, dot its I's before it do anything. That's why a Capricorn is perfection. Because they put in that work, but the work starts with the planning. And this is where you're at right now. Well, Uda says, what about Virgo? I think that should be included. Virgo is more so summer solstice. Because remember, Virgo is now harvesting. It's about the harvest. It's about planning for the fall. Virgo is about planning for the fall. So Virgo is more summer. Virgo is about, okay, what we're going to do with all this bounty. Virgo's like, okay, let's organize all this bounty and this abundance that we got from the spring. Now in the summer, that's why fruits is at its highest peak. So Virgo is the one that's going to organize and going to put everything together and going to have things, here and there. That's the Virgo energy. Does that make sense for you? Okay. So now that I did all of that, so now I want to, before I share what I learned or letting go, I want to see what you guys put for yourself. What did you learn or let go? And I asked you guys in my story. So before I, start, I want to see what you said. And you can also say it in the comments now. Okay, so somebody said something that they learned or is letting go. Time is of the essence. And somebody said, it's not telling me their names. It says letting go. To give more. And someone says that I need to be more intentional and stop doubting myself. And then someone said this was a big year for me. Letting people be them and not how I see them. That's a good one. And the last one is, if I chose to remain stagnant, the repetitive process of all things that don't fit will remain. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. So thank you everyone for participating. Now, does anyone else have anything they'd like to share as far as like what they learned? And I'm not letting you come on camera, but you could just put it in the comments what you've learned in 2022 or what you're going to let go of. Okay, let me see. Okay. Somebody said a tick just tried to bite my ear. Well, you better go look that up and see what that tick trying to tell you. Look, I'm sweating. Okay. Okay, I see you, Uda, but I'm not doing that right now because I gotta stay focused. Okay. Dirty Mitch said, appreciate your words. I'm thankful. Coco said, procrastinating is my issue. Okay. Black B said forgiveness. Okay, thank you guys for sharing. And if anybody else want to share in the chat, what they learned in 2022 or what they want to let go, now is the time. Okay, y'all. So now, okay, and y'all, it's been so much stuff that I learned, but for the sake of this live, I'm not gonna be doing all of that. Okay, so the first thing is be kind and generous, even when you don't see it in others. That was a big one for me for last year, because I'm petty. I can be petty.
Now, in my opinion, that is the first real thing that Serenity, aka Grace, aka Stephanie, has said this entire live.
Petty. And that's why I have a character that you sometimes see on camera called Petty Pam, because I channel my shadows. I don't let them be like in the dark festering. I bring them to the light to y'all. And so I can be petty. And so I had to realize that it is not for your acknowledgement or validation for the good that I do. The good that I do and the kindness that I showed is to show the light, to reveal the light in me. And when you make yourself a vessel for the light, then the light will continue to show up in your life because you are useful to it. And the more you expand, the more the light can use you. And it's not the blessings from other people that you are trying to get, because if you try to get love, adoration, money, or whatever from people, it's very limiting, because people only have a certain amount of what they can give you. But when you go to the light, when you look to God, it is unlimited of the blessings that you can.
Okay, now earlier in the live, she was saying something to the effect of she doesn't really like organized religion because they teach you that death is a bad thing, and she doesn't really follow religious beliefs and things of that nature. Now she's saying when you go to God, like Serenity, aka Grace, aka Stephanie, please make up your mind, because this is make up your mind
that you can receive. So as a light worker, your work is not to be acknowledged by the world. Your work is to be acknowledged by the light, and to reveal the light, and to only receive what you want from the light. Because you are infinite. Your energy is infinite. No matter what, if it's in physical or non-physical. So I have to be telling Petty Pam, like, look, Petty Pam, I know that they was rude, but you don't process their situation. You just stick to who you are, and you let them be who they are over there, and you just keep shining that light regardless if they want to see it or receive it or not. Okay? So next is no longer keeping people in my life that doesn't bring value or see my value. Now, y'all, and this was a big one. This was probably the most emotional one for me, is letting go of relationships that didn't bring really any value in my life, and didn't see me as valuable, didn't like me for who I was and what I was bringing to the table. And I had to come to grips with myself, is that I attach myself to relationships of people because I have an abandonment wound. That if you like me and you're in my life, that means something about my worth.
I don't know if any of you or how many of you know Serenity, aka Grace, aka Stephanie's history. Her mother actually left her when she was a child, and she was raised by her grandmother. So she has some abandonment issues, I'm sure, that stem from that situation. So I can definitely understand
that something about my worth. And so I had people in my life that did not need to be there. If anything, they was couldn't see my work anyways. So they was just there. And the thing is that you know, you're not a child anymore. It's not like you just go to school and you just play with someone, la la la. No, as an adult, your relationships needs to be resourceful. Okay? That's why I said I'm a resource to you on your journey. There's value here. What I'm saying, there's value here. There is a give and take in this relationship. This is a balanced relationship. So you want to start auditing the people in your life where it is not give and take. Whether you're giving or you're taking, but there's no reciprocity, okay? And you want to analyze it. You want to see what part you play in it. Because with me, the part I played in it is that, and I hate when people say this, I really do. But when I realized I was giving more to people, but it wasn't their fault. I was giving them something they didn't even ask for. And so I'm showing up in this way that they can't even receive because they didn't ask for that anyways. But I'm not a giver. Like, I'm not a person like, oh, I just give. No, I'm not a giver. I'm not that person. But what I'm saying is that I saw the potential in people that didn't even see that potential in themselves. And it is not my responsibility to uplift people. It's not my responsibility. You uplift yourself, okay?
Now she's making quite a bit of sense, and I'm tracking. I'm tracking Serenity, aka Grace, aka Stephanie.
It's because if I'm not there, then what? So how resourceful am I to you? I'm just an enabler. Like, I enable my relationships. That's what I saw. And then and I wasn't creating space for people that really could see my value of who I am and that really could give me value, because I had people in my life that was making me feel bad about myself. Like, for real. Like, I'm like, damn, is this something wrong with me? Like, you know, I had people in my life telling me they didn't like the way I talk and the way I act and Look here, what you see is what you get. This is how I talk. And I was trying to conform to keep these people in my life. And if you have to conform to keep anyone in your life, then there you go. That should let you know that's a red flag. You should not be conforming to keep anyone in your life. Okay? Okay. So then the third one is second guessing myself and looking for the answers in others. Yeah. I gotta take a sip with that one. And this is something that I'm sure a lot of you feel too, and you're not even aware of it, that you don't trust yourself. And that's essentially what that means. Let me repeat it. Second guessing myself and looking for the answers in others. And again, this partially comes from religion. That you got the truth. You're the savior, the pastor, the person that's on the pulpit giving us the truth, but we just sitting there receiving it. You know, look at all of these constructs that we have in society, that there is the main one and then it's us little people. Don't you not realize how that messes with the psyche and your ability? That if you're not in that position, then you're not capable and have access to any power or any truth or any direction in your life. And that is just not true. Okay? And also it comes from being a child as well, where, you know, you came here already knowing what you needed to know. But because you came here in human form, you have to conform in what civilization and the culture wants you to be so that you can fit in. So because of that, because you know what you want, you know what you like, but then you have people around you like your mama and your daddy and your school and your friends telling you like, no, that ain't cool. No, you don't like that. No, that's wrong. You do what I say. I'm the adult here. So then you start second guessing that too. And before you know, you out here in the world just following along, being a little robot, doing what everybody else do. And
now, I don't necessarily agree or disagree with her point here, but as far as me, I've always marched to the beat of my own drum, even as a
doing
child.
What everybody else do, and then and when you feel that creative urge, then that becomes a wound. That becomes an insecurity for you to really do what you want to do. And then you feel ostracized if you do it. Because if you step out of that robot wheel or whatever you want to call it, then everybody going to point the finger and they're going to judge you and call you crazy and all this and that. And I'm here to tell you, call me crazy. I'll wear the t-shirt because I know the truth is in me. I have the answers within me. I always know what to do, what to say. And when I find myself second guessing myself, that is only the light telling me, not now, not now. Chill out, go over there somewhere. This ain't the time to make any decisions. When you have doubt, when you are overthinking, that is just your nervous system telling you, not now. Don't be afraid of your nervous system. Don't be afraid to feel. Don't be afraid to feel. Your nervous system is there for a reason, to guide you, to help you make a choice. Yes, there is a good and bad and a yes and a no. I do not live in that world. Oh, it's not wrong or right. No, your nervous system is there to tell you what's right and what's wrong for you. Okay? It doesn't mean that apply to everybody, but it applies to you. Okay? And so next is giving advice no one asked for.
I love this point, and I really hope that you're completely honest with this one, because you are the master of giving advice to people who do not ask for it, probably don't want it, and definitely in many cases don't even use it.
No one asks for, and trust that they are capable. Okay. So this is where the balance comes in, because one of the things that the people that have been close in my life that says, that you think you know it all, and this and that, which I do know it all. I can't. My human design chart says I do know it all. See, when you know yourself and when you study yourself, nobody can't tell you about yourself. And look, my human design told me that I'm a know it all. Okay, my birth chart showed me that you better listen to what I'm saying, but if they're not ready to receive, if their vessel isn't big enough to receive you, then why are you pouring water into a glass that's already full? And no, what you giving is not medicine, it's poison. So I had to learn the balance, because I do have the gift of gab. I love to talk. I just have a perspective that I see things that others don't see. I continue to affirm that I'm a divine vessel for light to use me in miraculous ways. But at the end of the day, it don't mean that I'm entitled to be telling you what you should be doing, especially when you didn't ask me. Now, on my platform, that's different. And see, this is why I get on my platform, my social media platform, and I get on my little video and I say what I want to say, because this is my platform. And if you come on here listening and you hear something you don't like, you are welcome to leave. But for me to call you up and be like, hey, let me tell you something about you. Like, no, like you can do that if you want to. You really can. But for me, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my time and my wisdom on people that don't have the capacity to receive it.
Serenity, aka Grace, aka Stephanie, you're currently wasting your time, dear.
In the first place. They don't have the capacity, or they just don't care. And that's okay. They don't have to, but at the end of the day, in my personal, especially my personal relationship, that me and my partner, our energies are very different. my energy is masculine. When I say masculine, it's like out, direct, take action instantly. And his energy is he more ponders, he thinks about it, he goes inward, and and my energy is the opposite. So I'm just like, come on, let's do something, come on. And it definitely rubbed him the wrong way, and it definitely, created some tension in our relationship.
I could definitely see how your personality could clash with Rambo. He's very laid back. He is an alpha male, but he doesn't need to be the loudest in the room, and he doesn't need to win every argument. I like Rambo. He's pretty cool. He's level. He's balanced.
Some tension in our relationship. But then when I decided to step out of the way, because first of all, he didn't even ask me for advice. He didn't ask me what I wanted him to do. Let me step back and let me put some space right here and let me observe what you're going to do. Now, he may not do it the way that I would do it, but at the end of the day, because I decided to trust that he is capable, the result turned it out well. And so, even with my clients, because it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because I'm a life coach and I'm a teacher. So what I learned...
Y'all, who is going to take life coaching from Serenity, a.k.a. Grace, a.k.a. Stephanie? Y'all put it in would y'all take life coaching classes or lessons from Serenity?
With being a life coach, you're not coming to me for the answers. You're coming to me. Why I'm a resource to you is because I'm going to pull the answer from you. I'm going to show you that you have the answer. So this is why you have spiritual guides, life coaches, and psychologists or whatever, because if they're good enough, they should. I don't know about psychologists though, but as a life coach, a good life coach is going to pull the answer out of you. A life coach that is telling you what you should be doing, that ain't a life coach. Okay, that's just somebody giving you their opinion. But how is that going to help you? Because as a life coach, I have to go into your mind and pull it out, because then I have to refigure your mind so that you'll be able to think and see clearly the way that you wanted to do in the first place. But there's certain questions and certain phrases that is going to unlock your mind, and that will help you see things in the way that's going to serve you. That's what a good life coach does. So this is why I'm a life coach, because it suits me well to be able to guide people and support people in their journey. But being a life coach, I also had to learn, no, you ain't here to tell people what to do. You're not their leader. You know what I mean? You're their guide to help get the answer out. And so I learned that this year. Okay, and so for anybody that's coming in here like, girl, what you talking about? Right now, I am going over the things that I learned in 2022 and what I need to let go. Okay, so the next thing is learning to pause. Okay, and I don't know if any of you noticed, but I've been taking Kabbalah. Kabbalah is something that I've incorporated in my life. And Kabbalah is not a religion. They said it's a tool. But it's not a religion. I feel like it could be though. But to me, I look at it as a mindset shift, y'all. And one of the phrases that they say in Kabbalah is pause. What a pleasure. Okay? Because what are we used to? We're used to confronting. We're used to going off on somebody. And sometimes in a situation, it requires you to pause. Just pause. Pause with a pleasure. That's interesting. Especially if you are the energy that always pop off.
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True. Many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy and I love this book.
Okay. Okay, this ain't for those that you easily pause, right? You easily don't say no. You easily don't deal with something. This is for those that, like myself, that have a lot of fire. Okay, got a lot of mouth. Learn to pause with pleasure, because when you pause, it helps you recalibrate your nervous system, and then it helps you see things for what it actually is, and not what your emotions is trying to mislead you to think what it is. Okay, and when you pause, it gives time. Okay, time is everything. Time, as the old people say, time will tell. So when you pause, you get to see the truth. But if you always going and moving and going, it's like you ain't paying attention what you need to pay attention to. And if anybody that's been in Kabbalah, let me tell you something. I'm not going to go into it, but Kabbalah changed my life. It changed my mindset, y'all. It changed my relationship when I got into Kabbalah. And I'm not going to go any further with that. But if you want to know more about Kabbalah and the resources I've been using, hit me up at my DM and I will share that with you. But Kabbalah, I really enjoyed learning Kabbalah this year. Okay, so now I'm going to reveal something that's that is vulnerable for me. It's very vulnerable for me, y'all. And I'm always pretty transparent, but this right here is something that I learned, and also letting go of. Okay. Y'all ready? Okay. Let me take a sip. So, revealing my money wound. What does that mean? Revealing my money wound. I have a money wound, y'all. And when you have a wound, I just want to let you know it doesn't go away, because it leaves what? Even after you heal it, it leaves a scar. It doesn't go away. It's always there. So when you want to know what a wound is, because even when you get the revelation, and even when you get the coaching, and you get the books that teach you how to, access a new way of being with this wound, as you continue to level up, you have to know your wound is your behavior when you are in certain situations that's always going to show up. And you want to be aware of that behavior. You want to be aware of things that bring that wound, that ignite that wound. So even though in that situation you leveled up, now you're going to go to the next level, and then that wound is going to be like, okay, I'm going to see if you leveled up. And so for me, it's money. Money is a big wound for me. And so the things that I learned about this money wound, that ain't gonna go away just because I get a whole bunch of money. It's still gonna be there. Is food stamps. Last year, like since being in Hawaii, I was on food stamps. And Ketzel, he was on it too, but then he got off of it when he started his business. He was like, I don't want to be dependent on the government. Well, me, I stayed on food stamps after that. I mean, still, we were both individuals, so we could have our own. But
why is that so deep, Grace, aka Serenity, aka Stephanie? Food stamps is like everybody pretty much who needs them has them. So I'm not tracking.
So we can have our own. But I stayed on food stamps from 2019 to 2022, and I realized it was because of a money wound. And food stamps can be assistance to you, but if you are capable of taking care of yourself and capable of producing an income, and you are on food stamps, you are stealing. And the light will not serve you, and you will not receive abundance, because you are taking something that you do not deserve. And that was something that I had to look at myself in the mirror, about that, because I had to ask myself, why are you still on food stamps? Because your man make money. I mean, y'all fine. And I realized it was my lack of trust. It was my lack of trust that I didn't have enough. It was my lack of trust in him being a provider that will make sure I'd be okay. And the only way that our relationship and our bank account was going to transform is I had to get off of food stamps. Yeah. And I'm a little embarrassed to tell y'all that I was on food stamps, but I don't want to be one of these spiritual teachers teaching one thing and doing another. Because you see that a lot. You see a lot of spiritual teachers talking about abundance and wealth, but then they down at the welfare office just like everybody else. And I'm not going against food stamps or government assistance, because there are people that are not able and capable. But if you are able and capable of taking care of yourself and making money and doing something, get off your ass and do it.
Yeah, that part, Serenity, that part. If you are able-bodied and able to go to work, go ahead and go get it for yourself, because there are people out there who really, truly need food stamps and government assistance. But I see people like Solar who are sitting in Mexico working in a studio, and he's admitted himself that he has food stamps. So I'm not really understanding that. Serenity, you onto something, girl.
This is when you got to trust in the unseen. And that's the part of me, is trusting in the unseen and knowing that I'm going to be provided for, and not necessarily putting all that energy on Quetzal, but testing God and be like, okay, God, I don't got no food stamps. I don't got nothing. I'm here. Show me. I trust you. Okay. Just like, God want me to trust it. It's a two-way street. Put all my trust, and so that was a big one for me. And let me tell you, when I got off of food stamps the next month, because there was something going on. I don't know what happened. We didn't have no money. And when I told Kessel I'm off of food stamps, it was like the next day, we would see $2,500 in the bank account. Just like that. $2,500 in the bank account. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, thank you, God. And ever since then, y'all, we've been doing it. And see, we live in one of the most expensive places in the world, Hawaii. And to this day, him and I are like, how do we make it? Because, girl, let me tell you something. The food here is expensive, but we've been doing it. And then also equating money to my worth. And I think I'm going to go a separate live about my money wound. Equating money to my worth. Scared to spend money. Okay, I'm a saver. I am frugal as hell. But I realized that I'm not going to get anywhere if I don't invest in myself and I don't invest in life. It doesn't mean I'm just going to go shopping and buy clothes or nothing. It just means things that's going to elevate our life and our situation. We need to put that money in there, into that. And I was scared. And then lastly is allowing a man to provide for me. Because before all of this spiritual journey, y'all, I had my own money. I had my job, apartment, a car, money in the bank, and a career. So I've always taken care of myself. So I'm in a place now to where I am vulnerable to a man. And that scares the shit out of me, because at any moment, Kessel decide he don't want to do this no more. I don't got it. I don't got it. I don't got the money. I don't got no secret stash that where I'm going to be okay. Because it was like, I have to trust my life. And I ain't saying there's anything wrong not to have a stash of money. But I'm saying that in order for me to evolve in my life, I have to trust every component in it. Because everything that I'm experiencing is myself. I can't sit here and say that I don't trust that man over there, but then sit here and say everything I'm experiencing is me. Well, then if I don't trust him, there's something within me that I don't trust. So I had to get to the point in our relationship to allow him to provide for me, to trust the union that we have. And then at times I found myself getting jealous for his wins. Like when he did, and I'm getting teary eyed because it's like this is a shadow, and I'm bringing it to the light because it's something that was, I mean, I never shared with anybody, but I get jealous when he does good or when he succeeds. I'm jealous of that, and I get in my mind that if he becomes successful, he's going to leave me for someone else. All of these things, and I had to really sit with myself and process that. Okay, if that happened, then that means that it was time for him to go, and a relationship ended. You won't want nobody with you that don't want to be with you. And I had to like really accept that. But in order for me to accept that, I had to build my relationship with God. I had to build my relationship with the part of life that I can't see and feel, but I know it's there, and it's gonna always work in my favor no matter what. I had to trust that part of life, knowing that I'm always gonna be okay. But it's hard to trust that when you don't see it, when you don't really know. And so that's what I had to do. And ever since I did that, our relationship continues to improve. And I don't know what's gonna happen, tomorrow. Like, I'm definitely not putting him on a chokehold. Like, you better stay with me. It's not that. But it's just that being present in this relationship and being in this relationship as though this relationship is for my own good. And, and realizing that the jealousy is because it's something that I desire. And jealousy is not a bad thing. Jealousy is actually like if you're jealous of someone, you're envious because you want it too. I want to be successful too. I want people to acknowledge me too. I want that too.
So I don't know how many of you know, but she actually shut down all of her services. Her readings and her classes that she used to offer are no longer available. Now, I don't know how long that'll stay that way. But I have a little feeling that something's going on in the background. Her and Rambo will probably working on something together. So I'll keep you guys posted.
I want people to acknowledge me too. I want that too. But at the end of the day, he was like, "Well, you got to put that work in." He said, "If you want one, I got to put that work in." I'm like, "You know what? You bet. You right." And him and I just worked together. And I apologize to him for being jealous. But just so happy with his growth. But I realized that I had to be kind to myself because it's okay for me to desire things. It's okay for me to want to have a good life. It's okay for me to want to have money in the bank. And it's okay for me to desire to be famous and to help people and people know who I am. It's okay. It's okay for me to have those dreams. And I was getting jealous of him because I was afraid to dream, and yeah. I'm a mess. And I'm okay with.
Okay, she said it, not me. She's a mess.
I'm a mess, and I'm okay with all my mess on camera. But that was a big one. That was a big one for me. Thank you, Mom. I see you. So this is the first time I shared this. So that's why I think I got teared up because I ain't tell nobody this stuff, Okay, so the next one is, Mama Tika said, appreciate your vulnerability. I love to share some things I've gone through because I need some female energy. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to do it on this live, but maybe I can, after this live is over, I can do another live and we can just get on camera and people can share. Because it's power in sharing, y'all. It's power in sharing your story, sharing your situation, because you know what the power is that when people see what you going through, it heals them or whatever they're going through because they're not alone. Oh, you said in Messenger. Oh, okay. I thought you want to come on camera. Okay, Black B said, I'm crying because nobody ever explained what I couldn't about my jealousy. Yeah, you see it when me come on here sharing. Now that has released you from whatever bondage you had with jealousy over you. You know what I mean? Okay, so the next one is that I learned is the woman is the receiver of life. Okay? that girl, that was a big one. That video, when I put that video out, my video went viral. That video was so powerful. I probably got over 1 million views on TikTok with that video, and they took that video down. The woman is the receiver. She is not the provider. Okay? That video. But when I said that, let me tell y'all something about me. When I come on camera sometimes and I tell you things, a lot of times it's something that I received. A lot of things that I know, I don't know. It's just that I receive it and it does something to me and I have to share. And because I tell you that I am a vessel for divine light to use me. And so I'm a vehicle for the message. And so when I receive things, then eventually I have to embody it. And that was one that I had to learn to embody. That's why you haven't really seen me talk about women being receivers and what that look like, what you need to do, because y'all, I didn't realize that I was the receiver of life. I was being a provider of life. I was being the man in my relationships. I was coddling these men, and I was thinking that the man is here and I'm here, but it's like, but nah, it's like we're here. This is me. This is you. I'm a receiver, you provider. This is what I want. Give it to me. You know, and most of us are not conditioned to think that. We're because, well, I don't want to hurt his feelings, and I don't want, he's having a hard day. Whoop. The man is here to serve us the way they are here to serve us. As the providers, we are the receivers. Whatever we want, we shall get. Go into nature if you don't believe me. Okay? Women don't chase men. The men come to us and show us what they have, and we decide we want it or not. But it has flipped. But the message came back to me. No, we are the receivers. Whatever it is that you want as a woman, you are here to receive that. And first you must embody that within your nature. And then you will attract the people, the things. It's not just about men and relationships. It's about receiving all into life. See, life comes through you. Okay? Life comes from you. Without you, life cannot be.
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True. Many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy and I love this book.
Okay? And so once I realized that I hadn't embodied that in my relationship, and it was hard. It was a big adjustment. Oh, well, Black B said, is it the same with two women in relationships? Well, when I say women, I also mean feminine and masculine energy, okay? Because even with mostly women in a relationship together, one holds more masculine energy and the other one holds more feminine. So whoever holds the most feminine in that relationship, she's the receiver in that relationship. Now, biologically speaking, both women are receivers because they're women. But when you're going energetically, then that's when you go to feminine and masculine. Okay? And there's this big argument about that, but I don't care what the argument is. It's man and woman, masculine and feminine. But then but I'm not going to go on a tangent with that. I'm not going to go on a tangent. But what I'm saying is, if you are in a homosexual relationship, just be aware that masculine and feminine energy is present. Now, I'm not saying that two feminine men wouldn't be attracted to one another, but the way sex is that one is going to take on the trait than the other. That's just polarity. That's just polarity of life. Okay? And so I had to embody this to be the receiver, and it definitely ruffled some feathers in my relationship because there was change. And me and Ketzel realized that we don't like change. We don't welcome change in our life. But then, because we both are are followers of the truth and seekers of the truth and livers of the truth, eventually we just got on board to it, you know. And so next is what you say and do to others is planting seeds of that energy. So this is why you shouldn't gossip about people. This is why you shouldn't say, and I'm guilty of it, because there's nothing more I love to do than talk about somebody. But I realize that I'm only hurting myself. I'm not hurting them. It's just something about knowing somebody's business, right? That just, I don't know. It gives you the tingles. But at the end of the day, you better be careful what you say about that person, because you are creating those seeds in your life. That's what karma is. That's really what karma is. So what you putting them spells out. And so you even sitting there watching somebody talk about somebody, you're taking that in. So you have your mind is so sacred. It's more sacred than you guys know. You want to know how sacred your mind is and how your mind works. You ever like had a child, like if you are a parent, right? And every little thing you do, your child mimics you. You can't say nothing or do nothing without your child copying you. Well, that don't go away because you're an adult. It's still like that for you. So you have to be careful with the negativity that you allow in your life. It is so huge.
I ain't even finna hold y'all. Sometimes I watch Grace, aka Serenity, aka Stephanie, and I'm like, girl, take a deep breath.
And this is what weakens you. This is what weakens your immune system, your nervous system, and just all your systems is negativity. And you decide what you want to take in, but the number one thing is what you putting out. Okay? What you putting out of your mouth and saying about someone, you planting them seeds, and you gonna see it in the spring. Okay? And so next is, okay, this was a big one for me too. This was a hard one. This was one. Last year was about relationships for me. Last year was about relationships. There were many times me and Ketzel was like, we didn't know we was gonna still be together. And I've ended friendships with people. I ended friendships with people. Last year was definitely about relationships for me. So I learned a lot about relationships. And I said that you can't have self-love being single or isolated. That's not self-love. Self-love is achieved through relationships. Now, I'm not saying that when you're single, you're not loving yourself. Like, yeah, I'm loving myself. Yeah, I love me. Yeah. But there ain't nobody there. There ain't nobody there triggering you. There ain't nobody there crossing your boundaries. There ain't nobody there going against your standard. It's just you. There ain't nobody there second guessing you. There ain't nobody there hurting your feelings. There ain't nobody there getting you emotional. So of course you love yourself. But the love is true and firm when you find yourself in those difficult situations with people that don't seem to love you back. Do you still love yourself? Or you will put yourself down because you are just mirroring how that person feel and is treating you? That's how you know when you love yourself. When you are with people, and regardless of what they say or do to you, you still hold your boundaries. You still have a standard for life. You still will speak up for yourself. You still will not allow nobody to treat you any type of way because you love yourself. And you're not going to allow your emotions to make you feel any differently. And when you're in a relationship, you're not going to run away because it's hard. Because you love yourself, you're going to stand still and you're going to demand that person love you back or they can step. That's what loving yourself is. I don't have to walk away. I don't have to run because where I stand is love. I don't have to go out there looking for it. It's right here. Do you want to get on or not? And if you don't, you can go. You can take that baggage with you. You can take that self-hate with you. I don't want it. So that's when I knew what self-love was. Is that regardless of what I see, I still love me. Okay. Okay. And then I got two more, y'all. I know it's a lot. The other one is transformation and growth doesn't start with thought. It starts with action. What I mean,
Y'all, when I look at Serenity and Rambo, I pick up on, the fact that they have had their struggles in their partnership, because you can just tell, you can see there's like a bit of a lack of affection between the two of them at times. So you can pick up on it easily, but this is the first time I've heard her actually verbalize that. That was
it
deep.
starts with action. What do I mean by this? So you know how you say you want to do better, you're trying to grow, you're trying to be a better person. And something happens, like say for example, you say you want to let me give y'all an example. Excuse me for not having an example right at this moment. Say that you like, you know what, I want to do more listening versus talking. Like when someone's talking to me, I want to listen more, right? So the transformation isn't going to occur just because you said that, because when a person is talking, you still have that same habit over you. That behavior is still there to where you want to interrupt them and talk, but then you're sitting there like, oh, I just want to talk. But because you didn't interrupt, there was a transformation. The desire isn't going to go away, but the action has changed. And I hope I made myself clear. And if I didn't, give me another example and I'll try to show you what I mean by the transformation. Is that you was aware of you being how you're being, but you didn't act upon it. That is the real transformation and growth. Because there's a lot of times I be wanting to say something and I don't say it, but I be like, man, but I didn't say it, so that was growth. It's still in me to want to say it, but because I'm growing, I didn't say it. It's still the desire that you don't want to exercise, but you get up anyways and you exercise. Okay? Transformation and growth doesn't start in your mind. It starts in your actions. And the more that your body start doing things, your mind will catch up. And then lastly, healing and remembering your purpose is, okay, how can I say this? Most people are on their healing journey, right? And they think their healing journey, this is just my observation, that there's something wrong with them. Like there's something wrong with me. I'm just healing. I'm healing. And anytime there's a mistake or something going on, they just like, yeah, I'm still healing. I'm still healing. I say I'm still overcoming that. I'm still in the overcome state of mind. And then people are wanting to find their purpose and they want to know what they're here for. They want to know who they are. And the knowledge of self. Knowledge of self has become a product within itself. And the thing that I learned in remembering your purpose and true healing is realizing who you really are is who you've always been.
I will say, to her credit, Serenity has made a really decent life for herself and her son, along with Rambo. They have really, really persevered throughout the years after leaving Carbonation.
You've always been. That's how you know that you have healed. This is how you know you are remembering who you are, your purpose. Your purpose is in remembering who you are. And when you realize that, you realize that you've always been who you really are. Ever since you were a child. You've always been who you really are. You did not come into this world broken. The world broke you. You did not come into this world not knowing who you are. The world made you forget. So as you come into your awakening, or whatever that is for you, you call it healing or whatever. But all you are doing is just remembering. And then when you really do the work, when you really do the work, you're going to realize that you've always been this way. Like with me, I tell you, with me, since this is about me, one of the things that when I was a little girl, everybody used to call me Chatty Cathy. That was my name, Chatty Cathy. And obviously, because I was a talker, and I was always talking. But then when I started getting older, I stopped really talking. I mean, I would talk, but I wasn't talking about nothing, really. But then when I had my spiritual awakening, I realized that what I'm here to do is talk. And then as I'm getting all spiritual, then I'm trying to be mindful of what I'm saying. I'm trying to say the right words and trying to say it in the right etymology and just, and trying to be all holier than thou. And it's just like, no, who I am, I'm the person that says what everybody's thinking. See, when I was a little girl, I would just say anything. I would say it like I said. I would always tell the truth when I was a little girl. I was a truth teller when I was a little girl. And I would just say it like I meant it. And then as I got older, I started candy coating because people couldn't handle it. But now that I'm in this familiar place of knowing myself, I'm like, I don't care if it hurts your feelings. It probably needs to hurt your feelings. But at the same time, I've learned how to accept what is coming back at me, because you can't just telling people the truth and tell them like it is if you can't receive it back, and I had to learn, when I'm saying truth, y'all, I'm talking about my perspective, because at the end of the day, that's all you spewing out anyways, is your perspective of how you see the truth. Okay, everybody talking about is their truth. No, it's just one truth and everybody's perspective of it. And so I'm really good at giving my perspective on something. But then because of the people around me not knowing who they are, they're making me feel bad about who I am. And I'm trying to water down who I am, and I'm not helping nobody. You know what, intrinsic love, I was thinking about you the other day. I was like, what? I didn't know what your name was, but I just some people I just remember. And I realized, and the more that I'm doing my spiritual work, the more I'm digging into my shadows and and facing difficulties and just facing myself and not running away when things get hard, I'm coming back to that same child that I was in its pure innocent form. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I did all this work, paid all this money, read all these charts just to realize that I've always been this way. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And so that is why, hold on, y'all, because nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for nobody coming up in here talking about they are the truth. We've been there and done that. 2007, circa 2007. We are not coming in here talking about I am the truth and the way and the light and you should worship me. Nobody got time for that. I've already done that in my walk. Okay. I already done my chosen walk. I'm the chosen and I already done that, so go over there somewhere. Don't come over here with that. And I love that part of my journey. I will never take it away, but I'm just saying I'm not in the mood to repeat that or even hold that energy, okay? So yeah, and so the thing that I learned is just that even with myself is that just be careful with this word healing. Healing has become a product. Healing has come propaganda. It's a word. And when I hear anybody talk about, oh, I'm still healing. No, you still ain't taking responsibility and accountability for your life. That's what you really saying. Because once you start saying you're healed, there's no more healing. There ain't no more healing you have to do. It's just now things are coming up that you're going to have to work on. If you really heal, your perspective will look different. Now, maybe some people ain't healed. Maybe they not. But when I hear someone say that I'm healing, I'm like, oh, you still ain't ready to take accountability for your life. That's what y'all see that little cat. Y'all see that cat over there, right there. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. I hear, when I hear somebody say I'm still healing, you're telling me I'm not ready to take accountability or responsibility for my life and anything that shows up. That's what I hear. Okay? So I'm just letting you know.
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True. Many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy, and I love this book.
So now that I've shared that, I'm so happy that I shared that with you guys. Okay, so now that we are aware that we are in a time of contemplation and a time of resolving things and analyzing things. As you know, Aquarius is the thinker and can see things in many ways. And in Capricorn is the planner and responsible, does his due diligence. Now, you want to know what energy are we all sitting in collectively. Okay, now what? Okay, so 2023. Now, this is numerology. And I'm giving you this information because this is what I use for myself. And I'm giving it to you. So 2023 equals the 7-year cycle. And this is numerology. Now, I'm not going to go all into depth what that is. Do your research. But our universe, our world is made up of numbers. Everything has a pattern and a number to it. And these are codes. This is how God speaks to us. It's through numbers, through nature, through colors, through energy. It's just like so many layers of it. I just love it. Okay? And the way that you know what cycle we are in collectively is by the year, when you add up the years. So 2023, when you add it all up, it's a 7. Last year, it was a 6. This year, it's a 7. Now, you also have your own personal year number, and you do that with your month and day of birth and the current year, but we're not talking about that. I just want to prepare you for this year and what you're going to be faced with and how you want to prepare in this coming year. Now, also, your personal year is going to alter this, but just as a collective, you want to be aware of this energy. So, when we are in a 7-year cycle, this is God's number. The number 7 is the number of completion. You know, in the Bible it says it created the earth and heaven, whatever, 6 days, and the last day it rested. That's 7 days. But the number 7, when you see the number 7, just know that God is there talking to you. And if you don't believe me, just do your research about the number 7. Okay, so this year, the theme of the 7-year cycle, here are some words to meditate on and ponder on, is introspection. This is the year of introspection. This is not the time to be making things happen. Because of this being in God's energy, manifestation is going to be happening fast, rapid. So whatever you're thinking, it's going to come to fruition. So what I'm saying, whatever you're thinking, pay attention to the theme of your thoughts. It's the theme of your thoughts, always talking about.
I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. Don't forget to drop me a comment, smash that like button, guys, and share this video. I am trying to ensure that all of my re-uploads of my content to YouTube get back into the suggested videos. And I just want to say thank you to you guys, because I'm going to have to re-upload all of my content in order to meet the YouTube guidelines. and I'm not even halfway through, guys. So you guys will be taking a couple of walks down memory lane with me.
Thoughts always talking about, well, it's me. It's a theme of your thoughts always looking at the negativity. It's a theme of your thoughts being a pessimist and just always putting yourself or anybody down. Well, be very careful, because you're going to be manifesting that energy very rapid in this coming year. So be careful with that. And then this is the time to go inward as well. This is the time to contemplate. This whole year is about contemplation. These are when you ask the questions, why am I here? What am I? What is this? Where does babies come from? You know, like this is that time to be asking these questions. And with the 7-year cycle, this is a spiritual time that we're in. So a lot of times when we're in a 7-year cycle, you change religions, or you get more spiritual, or whatever belief system you had is going to change, or just vice versa. So there's going to be some shifts when it comes to spirituality, religion, God, whatever that is to all of us, like all of that energy. Okay. Emotions. It's going to be an emotional time. Analysis, intuition, reflection, seclusion. Now this could feel like depression, so you got to be very careful. This is why you got to have your faith in whatever that is, because this energy will almost make you feel depressed if you're not aware of it. But this is going to be times where you're going to desire to be alone, or you're going to be alone, one or the other. This is that time, and it's not depression. Okay. This is time to do research. Like for me, I've already got myself enrolled in astrology school. I'm in Kabbalah. I just got me a copywriter for my business. Like this is the time to go back to school. This is the time to learn something new, educate yourself. This is the time, if you have a business or if you're thinking about your career, this is the time to not start anything new, but just look at what you have and improve that. Okay. And this is about your faith. Like I said, this is about your faith. Now, Capricorn energy that we're in, Saturn is about, this is a time to reevaluate your routine in life. This is the time to reevaluate where you are in your life right now. Okay? This is not a time to be doing nothing, starting nothing new. This ain't new year, new you. This is a time to reevaluate your choices and your decisions and really think about that. And now that we are in this 7-year cycle, you must get in tune to the source within you. You must establish a relationship with the truth. And whatever that is for you, I don't know what that is for you. I don't know what the truth look like for you. But if you are not in tune to self, and to that light source energy that encompasses everything, now it's the time for you to connect to that. And if you don't know how to do that, I've created a wonderful class for you called the Rising Ritual, how to create your intentional morning routine. And it's in the link in my bio. But I created this a long time ago. But I'm just saying, for you, in the time that we're in, this is the time to really connect to source. This is the time for you to start being aware of that and have your morning routine. What does that look like? Have your spiritual relationship with God or whatever it is that you believe in. This is the time to do that, because the energies are going to be strong this year. And that doesn't even, and that I don't know what personal energy that you're sitting in. But the beautiful thing is that the one thing that you can do that can help you come into that contemplation is to have a morning routine. Have that time to yourself first thing in the morning. So there's a solution to everything. And with the Rising Ritual class, it's not only a class that's going to help you create your own morning routine, a Rising Ritual, it is aligned to your astrological energy. Because when you think of energy, think of God. God is energy. Now, the way your energy is set up and the way my energy is set up is two different things. My energy, when we're talking about astrology, is fire and air. That's God. God is expressing itself through me as fire and air. God might express to you through earth and water. So you want to know what routine honors your energy. And in this class, I show you, if you have fire, air, water, and earth, the different techniques that you can use in your rising ritual that helps you honor God and to be fully connected with the source within you. And ever since I created this class, my rising ritual, oh my God, I can't wait to get up. You know what time I get up? I get up at 4 a.m. in the morning, y'all, because I look forward to my rising ritual. I look forward to that time to connect with Source. My partner and my child do not get access to me first. God does. But the reason why I am committed to my rising ritual, because I know the certain techniques that honors my energy. Meditation in the morning don't honor my energy. I need more than that. I'm fire and air. I need more than that. And I'm feminine. I'm a woman. So I need things that's going to honor that. And if you're not clear about what that is for you, maybe this class is for you. I don't know. And if it is for you, if you're curious, just go after this live, just go to my link in my bio and check it out. There's more information for you there. So this was beautiful. You know, I'm just thankful for this live. I'm thankful for this upcoming year and things to come. There's so many things that are happening, but I don't want to share with you yet. I don't want to get too hasty yet, but it's just, y'all, I'm just telling you, like, if you don't believe in following your dreams and following the truth, my life is crazy. My life is amazing. Like, the things that just have been showing up since this past year, I just can't believe that my life is where it is, you know, and I hope that you can say the same thing for yourself. And if not, this is the time to start thinking about, why am I not living the life that I love, that I want, and doing the things that I want to do, and be around people that value me and I value them. This is that time to do that. That time to do that. Okay? Does anybody have any questions before I go? Because I know that was a lot. But you know what? I think I'm gonna get off because I talked a lot. and I'll be coming back on here soon. I don't know when. I'm gonna come back on here.
All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video and my commentary. Please be sure to drop me a comment, smash that like button, and share this video. Guys, I am so excited that we are slowly creeping up to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I want to say welcome to all of my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel, guys, and to all of my OGs, my day ones, my ride or dies. Y'all know who y'all are. Big up yourself. We in the building with it.